Hey there, Pete Buchwald. I just want to show a couple things in Logic using the notation editing. I looked on YouTube and I noticed I didn't find any, so I thought I'd give a brief introduction. I don't use this a lot, but I know a little bit and I might be able to help out people that want to start getting into using some of the notation features in Logic Pro. Here's my song. Me and a friend are writing it, trying to write a song, and uh, it's, I, doing the lead sheets in here as a songwriter can be really helpful, and I'll show you why. Um, so I can have the score scrolling down here. Um, you can also keep in mind if you're a songwriter, there's also this notes. You can open up your notes and just put your lyrics over there. I was getting frustrated as a songwriter of typing my chords and stuff into a Word document or something above my lyrics, and then we decided to do it in a different key, and that was pretty frustrating. So what's cool here is once you get the chords in, if you decide to do it in a different song, all you do is I did it in the wrong region. That's for the MIDI stuff. So if I transpose it down a whole step, then the chords snap to the key I want. All the the licks here get transposed as well. The melody over here gets transposed. So I mean that's pretty handy for this. So let's start a new project. I'll kind of show you how I did this. Well, I'll let you hear a little bit of this first. You get the idea there. So I think it's a pretty good looking lead sheet, and it's really not that hard to make. Let's start from scratch. So let's go Logic Pro, new one. We'll close that. Sure, I'll save it. I'm gonna open from a template. Yeah, whatever. Let's see, Command D puts it on the desktop for me. I'll call it trash just because I know eventually I want to trash it. I'll just, for the sake of this, I'll put in a basic synthesizer. I find it's helpful for the entry of this data, if I want to enter a melody, I mean, it's a lot easier to enter it in real time. So I would go down here and whatever tempo I'm doing, I'd make sure that that's in place. By the way, if you're a Logic user, make sure to look up a plugin called the Tapper. This is a free tempo identifying um, software. So you just tap your space bar and it identifies the tempo you want to have. So that's a helpful thing. So I got my tempo. I'm ready to roll. So I have. Let me just do like Mary Had a Little Lamb or something. So start the recorder. I don't hear anything. That's great. Oh, I know. I have to. It's because my output is wrong. It should be to that. And right click over here. Metronome settings. This should be the same output. I think that should take care of me. Okay, let's try this again. I don't hear the click, but I think I can watch the bars here and get by. See. Okay, so that'll do. Um, Something to keep in mind is if, let's say, you want an introduction. Let's say there's a 4-bar introduction and there's other stuff. Remember in Logic you can right click here wherever you want to put a blank region. Let me hide this so it's not confusing. Right click here, create empty region. And let's say I know the song continues, there's a something else going on here, so I'll create an empty region there. Now, let me hide this, get a little more real estate. If I click here, that highlights the whole region. Maybe you blinked, I'll do it again. But before, just one of these was highlighted. If you just click on the instrument name, all of them are highlighted. Then I know I want my glue stick tool. One way I can get my glue stick tool is by going to the tool thing and grabbing the glue tool. But here's the cool way to do it. You hit the escape key on the keyboard and it brings up this menu, and you just memorize the number. So I know the glue tool is number 6, so I just hit 6 and then I have the glue tool in action. So when I hit the glue tool, it'll make one huge region, and we'll need that for what we're going to do. The keyboard shortcut to bring up the score is Command 3. So it looks like I didn't get quantized. I think it's just quarter notes. Let's see. That looks a little better. Alright, so the default is kind of this scrolling view. We can toggle that to the page view, which is I prefer to look at. Now you notice at this point there's rest here, then the melody comes in. So if we want to make a lead sheet, if we want slash marks up here and eventually chords and maybe our lyrics over here, let's show how to do that. So you go over here to the style and you go up to lead sheet, watch what happens in the score. Boom, you get your slashes. Entering the chords is pretty easy. You go into this area, and the general rule is whatever you want, you kind of find it in the menus and you drag it over. So I know I want something resembling letters, meaning chords, so I toggle to this letter and I get some new options here. If I want to do chords, I'm going to drag the word chord up to where I want my first chord, and I found you want to drop it in between those first two slashes, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'll say I want a G chord. Then I'll hit the tab button a couple times. It goes one for every beat. Now, if I would have dropped that initial chord thing right here, that word chord, it would pop this G way over here, and it looks ugly, and you just got to go back and fix it. So make sure to drop it, somewhere around here. Okay, let's say I want a D chord here. Tab, 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 tab. And then I'll do an A. There we go. And I would just keep going and make my chords. If I want a B minor 7, BM 7, tab, tab, just keep going. So let's talk about entering lyrics. That's easy enough to do chords. So again, I just go over here and grab my word lyric. I drop it where I want my first lyric. See if I can do this one-handed. M-A-R, Mare. I think I want a hyphen, tab for the next one. R-Y, tab. Where'd you go? There you go. Add, tab, A, tab, L-I-T hyphen, tab, L-E, tab, L-A-M-B, I'll say period. Alright, so that's how we enter our lyrics. Let me try to zoom in so you can see this a little better. It's starting to look like a score. So that's handy. What else can we show you? Oh, same thing with the title. See, the word song. If you drag that up here, that's going to be your title. And that by default, it's going to take the name of your song and your session and put it up there. I've had issues with changing the font size. If you click on something that turns green, you have it selected, and you can move it around. You can do whatever you want. So if I shift click on multiple, I can move multiple things around. So I tried selecting the title, going to text, font. I tried changing the size, 24, and doesn't work. I've also tried highlighting it this way. I gotta close this. There we go. Highlight it like that. That's a double click. Fonts. Yeah, man. The first time I tried this, it worked. And ever since then, I can't make it work. So that's something to be wrestled with. Maybe you saw in the first song, it looked big and pretty like a song title should up here. But so it is possible to make a lead sheet in here pretty easily. And if you're a songwriter, this is something worth pursuing. And just about everything you'd want is in these menus. If you want a double bar somewhere, you can drag that, drop it in, repeats, all that stuff. Change the clef. If you want to be in a different key. I mean, by default, this is going to follow the global track. So in this instance, the key signature is in C. If I change that to D, okay. So now we'll highlight this again. Take a look at our. So there we gained the two sharps. I mean, it didn't transpose it because we didn't ask it to. We just told it we were in the key of G. It's putting accidentals in. What else can we tell you? Man, what happens if I do this? Oh, that's kind of fun. Was that first chord of G? Yeah. I know I want to show you something else. So I'm not going to spend too much time here. So there's G chords. See, I want that one. Just drag and drop it. No. Denied. Huh. Oh, there it is. So you can get that in there. Can I make it smaller? No. Maybe with over here. I want to show you one more thing. Just cancel all this stuff. Another way to get chords in on your tune. Let's escape 1 to get back to my pointer tool. Let's record another track. All right, here we go. And when I play, watch down here. It'll say what chords I'm playing, and that'll come into play with the one I'll show you. So, record. All right, I totally botched some of those rhythms. Let me quantize that to a whole note. Maybe I'll take it where I want. Yeah, snap them pretty much where I want. Okay, so here's what I wanted to show you. If I pull this up in a score, so Command 3 pulls up in a score. Watch this. Let's see. I think I got to backstep a little bit. Right click up here near the global tracks. And I want chords to be shown. Alright, so I'm going to toggle this chord open. I'll analyze. I highlight the region I just made, click analyze. And it guesses what chords I just played. And make sure to play root position if you want to do this. So you can play through all the chords of your song just in root position. Now go back to my Apple III. Then I can say functions, insert chords from global chord track. If I select that, there you go. There's all the chords I just played before. So there's a way to enter those chords in real time that might be helpful for you. All right. I'm still getting to know this notation stuff, but I thought the things I discovered might help some people out there. So I do hope this is helpful for you. All right. Take care.